Hi, welcome to a calculator tutorial from Equaser. My name is Ahmad Shamshiri. We're going to work with complex numbers, work with Texas Instruments TI-84 Plus and TI-84 Plus Silver Edition calculators. This video is part of a full video of TI-84 Plus and Silver Edition. Link is below this video in the description. Using this calculator, you can get the conjugate from the complex expression. We can get real part or extract it from the expression. We can get imaginary part from the complex expression. We can get the angle. We can get the magnitude from polar or rectangular. We can convert polar complex to rectangular, and we can convert rectangular complex to polar complex expression. Let's set our calculator to defaults so we are in the same settings. Second function mem, just follow the screen 722 and press clear. If you press window or some other key and you're stuck, just press second function and quit to exit from the screen. Now for rectangular, it is shown in A plus B format, A plus BI, and we have a real axis, and then imaginary is the same as I-axis. It's vertical, and 3 minus 4i is shown like 3 in the real, and minus 4i is this imaginary axis. In polar format, you will see r angle theta in many courses, but majority of complex expression are displayed r e to the power theta I, where r is the magnitude, e is the Euler number, and theta is the angle, I is the constant of square root of -1. Now, if we press mode, you will see the settings here, real and rectangular complex and polar complex. This is just for real values. If I scroll down with the key up to here, but if we go in here, that is a rectangular complex, and this one is polar complex. Let's set it to rectangular complex, press enter, the highlight moved, press clear to exit. For complex notation, you will see 8 plus 5i. They will use I in some books, but in some books or instructors, you will see 8 plus j5, and the j is shown before the number. That refers to the complex expression, but in this calculator, we are using this format. Now, let's input this expression. Press 8 plus 5, second function I, that is this button. Any key that has blue color, when you press second function, it will be activated. If I press enter, you see the value is now the same format as the setting. Now if we go with the pressing mode and go and switch it in here to polar and enter, it is selected, press clear to exit. Now 8 plus 5, second function I, and enter. Now it has been presented as polar format, some magnitude e to the power, and this arrow shows that we have more. We can scroll down to see the value, and then I at the end, which refers to the polar complex value. Now let's input this expression here, 10 second function e, and then now second function pi. We bring the fraction by pressing this alpha F1, and if you don't see this expression, it means your calculator needs to get updated. I have separate video how to update the OS. The link is below the video in the description. Press 1, and then we press 3 with the arrow, go to the right, and then second function I, and enter. Now this value have been inputted, and as you can see, it shows 10 to the power. This is shown now as a number instead of pi, because if we do this, this is our expression, second function pi divided by 3, you will see it's 1.047, so that's the number. Now select the mode in classic, press mode, and then scroll down on the screen until you see we are in math print mode. Go to classic, enter, and then clear. Now let's enter this value, 10 second function e to the power, and then press second function pi divided by 3, close the parenthesis and press enter. That is our, I forgot to press print I. Now let's go up and paste it, and with the arrow go here, second function I, and then close it. Press enter. That's our value. This dot dot shows that we have more values. Scroll on this side until you see with the I. Let's go back to math print mode, and select math print, enter, select it, press clear to exit. Now let's enter the simple expression, open a parenthesis, 2 plus 6 second function I, close it, divided by 3 second function I, and enter. Now the value have been presented in polar format because we have set it to polar format. Now if we go to math mode, press math, and then once, twice, we see all these options available. We have conjugate, real, imaginary, angle, all these. Beside each we have a shortcut. We either press that number or go down and press enter, select it, which I'm going to explain one by one. Press clear to exit. Now we want to get the conjugate, so each operator is displayed at the top. Let's find conjugate of 2 plus 6i. We know it's 2 plus 6i. We know when you get a conjugate, just the symbol changes. So let's press math once, twice, and then 1 is for conjugate, and then 2 plus 6 second function I. If you need to do some other calculation, close it. Otherwise you don't need to close the parenthesis and press enter. That is the conjugate with a I, because we are in polar format. Let's change it to rectangular, press mode, and come in here. The highlight is in polar. Let's go to the rectangular, press enter, clear to exit, and let's press math, go to complex, 1, and then 2 plus 6i, 2 plus 6 second function I, enter. Now plus has changed to minus. Now let's see how we can save complex values into variable memories. Let's enter this value, save it into memory A, 10 second function E, second function pi, and then alpha f1, 1, and then 3, go to the right, second function I, we have the expression, and then go to the right so the cursor is at the bottom, and then press STO or store, and then we press alpha. Once you press alpha, A appears. You can select any green key with letters. We can save in that memory, but in this case we are going to save it into memory A. I'm pressing A and press enter. Now it has been saved and it has been converted to a rectangular on the screen, but we have the value. To recall the memory, press second function and that corresponding memory, in this case A, press enter, we see the value. Now let's go back to polar mode, come down and then go to polar, clear, recall this value, let's see, second function, no, alpha, and then A, and enter, and you see that before A was showing in rectangular, now A is shown in polar format. Now let's get the real part of this expression. Now let's get the imaginary part of 2 plus 6i, press math, go to complex, and then for imaginary we go 3, and then 2 plus 6, second function I, enter, and we get just the imaginary part. Let's get the imaginary part of this. Math, complex, and then imaginary 3, second function So 3 second function e, 4, and then second function I, and enter. We got the imaginary part, which is the angle minus 2.4. Now let's change the unit to degree, mode, unit, degree, and enter, clear. Now let's get the angle of 2 plus 6i, math, complex, and then angle 4, 2 plus 6, second function I, and the angle is now in degree, not in radian. Now let's change the mode back to radian because we need radian. Radian is selected, clear. Now let's get the angle of this value, math, complex, angle 4, alpha, and then A, I recall it, enter, and the angle is 1.42 radian. Because we remember second function pi divided by 3 is 1.047, which is the angle for that expression. When you want to get absolute value of complex value, it's a square root of a real value squared plus the imaginary value squared. Now let's get the absolute value of 7 plus 3i, math, complex, this time 5, and then enter the expression 7 plus 3 second function I, and enter. Now it will give you that expression that I mentioned. Now let's get the absolute value of this expression, which we have it in the memory, second function math, complex, and then 5, recall memory, second function A, and that is 10 because it was 10 to the power pi over 3i. Now we want to convert this to rectangular, to display it in rectangular format. Let's bring memory A, and then press math, go to complex, and then 6. It says get this expression and convert it to rectangular. So you just need to type or bring from memory, and it has been converted to rectangular. If you want to convert something to polar, 7 plus 3 second function I, and then bring that math, complex, and this time 7, and enter. Now this is in polar format, regardless of the setting. This is the magnitude, e to the power 0.4. The arrow shows we have more values. If you want to see it, just press the arrow to see the full value. So this was all the features of this calculator for complex calculations. Thanks for watching. Please thumb up the video, and also please don't forget to subscribe.